January 15th, 1993. 3 p.m. Paris, Avenue George V. Hubert de Givenchy's atelier, the most famous fashion house in the world. Givenchy is 75 years old, white hair, elegant as always. He's working on his spring collection, models, fabric, the beautiful chaos of creation. His assistant approaches carefully. Monsieur Givenchy, there's a phone call. From Switzerland. Givenchy knows immediately. Audrey. He's been expecting this call, dreading it. For weeks, he's known she's dying. Colon cancer, stage 4, terminal. The woman who made him famous, who wore his designs for 40 years, is preparing to leave the world. Transfer it to my office, he says quietly. Givenchy walks to his private office, closes the door, picks up the phone. Audrey? Her voice is weak, barely a whisper. Hubert, I need you to make me something. Anything. What do you need? A dress. One last dress. Givenchy's hands start shaking. He knows what she means. This isn't for a premiere, not for a charity gala, not for UNICEF. This is for her funeral. She's asking him to design the dress she'll be buried in. Audrey, please don't. I'm dying, Hubert. We both know it. And I want to be beautiful. One last time. Will you help me? Givenchy closes his eyes. 40 years of friendship. 40 years of creating magic together. And now this. The final creation. Yes, he whispers. Of course. Thank you. I'll send you my measurements. Though I'm quite thin now. Much thinner than you remember. After she hangs up, Givenchy sits in his office for 3 hours, crying. The greatest fashion designer in the world, reduced to tears by a phone call from a dying friend. Because Audrey Hepburn isn't just his client. She's his muse, his inspiration, his greatest creation. And losing her feels like losing himself. This is the story of that final dress. The commission that broke Givenchy's heart. The last collaboration between a dying woman and the man who dressed her for 4 decades. To understand what that phone call meant, you need to go back to the beginning. February 1952. When Audrey Hepburn was 22 years old and Hubert de Givenchy was 24. Audrey is about to film Sabrina. Director Billy Wilder wants her character to wear French couture, sophisticated, elegant, the kind of clothes that transform a chauffeur's daughter into a woman of the world. The studio sends Audrey to Paris to meet with designers. First stop, Christian Dior. But Dior is booked. Suggests she try that young man, Givenchy. Hubert de Givenchy has just opened his own house. He's 24 years old, tall, 6'6", aristocratic, trained under Balenciaga, brilliant but unknown. When his assistant tells him, Miss Hepburn is here to see you, Givenchy assumes it's Katharine Hepburn, the established star. He rushes to meet her. Instead, he finds a skinny girl in black pants and a white shirt, no makeup, hair in a ponytail. She looks like a ballet student, not a movie star. I'm Audrey Hepburn, she says, in accented English. I'm here about costumes for a film. Givenchy is disappointed. This isn't Katharine Hepburn. This is nobody. Some unknown actress he's never heard of. But then Audrey smiles, and everything changes. She had the most beautiful smile I'd ever seen, Givenchy later said. Not just beautiful, illuminating. When Audrey smiled, the room brightened. They spend 2 hours together. Audrey explains Sabrina's character arc. the transformation from servant to sophisticate. She needs clothes that tell that story, clothes that make her believable as a woman who could capture William Holden and Humphrey Bogart. Givenchy listens, sketches, understands. This isn't about making pretty dresses. This is about creating a character through fashion. "I'll make you beautiful," he promises. "I don't need to be beautiful," Audrey replies. "I need to be believable." And Givenchy realizes, this girl understands fashion in a way most actresses don't. She doesn't want to be dressed. She wants to be transformed. He creates 12 outfits for Sabrina, each one perfect, each one telling part of the story. The white strapless gown for the yacht party, the black cocktail dress for seduction, the traveling suit for escape. When Audrey puts on the first dress, a simple white number for the tennis scene, Givenchy sees something magical happen. She doesn't just wear the dress. She inhabits it, becomes it. In that moment, Givenchy later wrote, "I understood my purpose, not to dress women, to reveal them, to show the world who they really are." Audrey wears Givenchy's designs in Sabrina. The film is a massive success. Suddenly, everyone wants to know, who dressed Audrey Hepburn? Where did those clothes come from? The answer is Givenchy. The 24-year-old nobody becomes the most sought-after designer in the world because of Audrey. But more than that, they become friends. Real friends, not designer and client, not artist and muse. Friends who care about each other beyond fashion. If you want more untold stories like this, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Your support means everything to us. "She made me famous," Givenchy said years later. "But I made her elegant. We needed each other." 1954 to 1970. 16 years, 35 films, hundreds of dresses, the most successful designer-actress partnership in Hollywood history. But it's more than business. Audrey and Givenchy create together. Every dress is a collaboration. She'll call him from film sets. "Hubert, I need something for the casino scene. Something that makes me look like I belong there, but don't want to be there." And he'll understand. Exactly. Create something perfect for that specific moment in that specific story. For Funny Face, Givenchy designs the wedding dress that makes Audrey look like a princess. For Breakfast at Tiffany's, he creates the black cocktail dress that becomes iconic. For Charade, he makes the travel wardrobe that's both practical and glamorous. But the clothes aren't just for films. Givenchy dresses Audrey for life. Red carpets, premieres, private dinners. He understands her body, her style, her soul in ways that go beyond fashion. "Hubert doesn't just dress me," Audrey tells friends. "He armor plates me. When I wear his clothes, I feel protected, beautiful, myself." Other designers compete for Audrey's business. Christian Dior, Yves Saint Laurent, Coco Chanel, all want to dress the most famous woman in the world. But Audrey is loyal, exclusively loyal. She wears Givenchy and only Givenchy, in films, in life, for 40 years. The loyalty isn't just professional, it's personal. They spend holidays together. Givenchy visits Audrey in Switzerland. She stays at his chateau in France. They travel together, talk about everything. Fashion, films, life, love, loss. When Audrey marries Mel Ferrer in 1954, Givenchy designs her wedding dress. When she divorces him in 1968, Givenchy is the first person she calls. "Hubert, I'm free," she says. "What should I wear to celebrate?" He designs her a liberation dress. White, simple, beautiful. The anti-wedding dress, freedom clothes. Through Audrey's 2 marriages, 5 miscarriages, career triumphs, and personal tragedies, Givenchy is constant. The one relationship that never fails her, never betrays her, never disappoints her. Audrey had terrible taste in men, Givenchy later said, but excellent taste in friends. By 1970, Audrey is semi-retired. She's made her fortune, achieved her goals. She wants to focus on her son Luca, on her relationship with Robert Wolders, on her UNICEF work. But she still calls Givenchy, not for film costumes, for life costumes. "I need something for the UNICEF gala, something that makes donors open their wallets." And he creates it, always. Whatever she needs, however she needs it. Their relationship evolves from fashion partnership to family. Givenchy becomes the brother Audrey never had, the constant male presence who never abandons her, never betrays her, never demands more than she can give. "I love Hubert," Audrey tells Robert Wolders, not romantically, deeper than that. He's family. And family, for Audrey, is everything. 1980 to 1992, 12 years, Audrey's final act. Semi-retired from films, but fully committed to UNICEF, traveling the world, saving children, making her real mark on history. And Givenchy is with her, creating clothes for her new role. Not movie star clothes, humanitarian clothes, practical but elegant. Suitable for refugee camps and royal galas. For Ethiopia, he designs safari-style outfits, linen shirts, practical pants, clothes that photograph beautifully but can handle dust, heat, poverty. For Bangladesh, he creates monsoon-appropriate dresses, waterproof fabrics, clothes that look dignified in floods. For Somalia, he makes desert survival fashion, lightweight but protective, beautiful but functional. Audrey is saving the world, Givenchy tells his assistants. "My job is to make sure she looks good doing it." But there's something else happening during these years. Both Audrey and Givenchy are aging. She's in her 50s, then 60s. He's approaching 70. They're no longer the young revolutionaries who changed fashion in the 1950s. The fashion world is changing. New designers, younger stars, different aesthetics, grunge, minimalism, anti-glamour. Young journalists ask Givenchy, "Don't you think the Audrey Hepburn look is dated? Isn't it time to find a new muse?" His response is always the same. "There is no new Audrey. There will never be another Audrey." And he's right. The actresses of the 1980s and 90s, Madonna, Sharon Stone, Julia Roberts, they're talented, beautiful. But they don't have Audrey's combination of vulnerability and strength, elegance and accessibility. Modern actresses want to shock, Givenchy observes. Audrey wanted to illuminate. During these years, their friendship deepens. They're both single, Audrey with Robert, but not married. Givenchy never married, devoted to his work and a small circle of close friends. They spend more time together. Long dinners in Paris, quiet weekends at his chateau. She helps him with his memoir. He helps her process her UNICEF experiences. "Sometimes I see things in Ethiopia that I can't unsee," Audrey tells him. "Children who remind me of myself during the war. Hungry, alone, abandoned." "But you're saving them," Givenchy replies. That's what matters. I'm trying, but there are so many, and I'm getting older. I don't know how much longer I can keep traveling. This conversation happens in 1991. Audrey is 62, still beautiful, still elegant, but tired, really tired. The UNICEF work is emotionally exhausting. The travel is physically demanding. And there's something else, something she doesn't tell Givenchy. Not yet. She's been having abdominal pain, irregular, easy to ignore, but persistent. She's seen doctors in Switzerland. They've done tests. The results are inconclusive. She doesn't want to worry anyone. Not Robert, not her sons, not Givenchy. But in September 1992, the pain becomes unbearable. She collapses during a UNICEF mission to Somalia, emergency evacuation to Los Angeles, surgery, diagnosis, appendiceal cancer, advanced, inoperable, terminal. 3 to 6 months to live. Givenchy gets the call from Robert Wolders. Hubert, you need to know. Audrey is very ill. What do you mean, ill? Cancer, terminal. We're bringing her home to Switzerland. Givenchy flies to Switzerland immediately, sees Audrey for the first time since the diagnosis. She's lost 20 pounds, looks fragile, but her eyes are still bright. "Hello, beautiful," she says when he walks in. "Hello, beautiful yourself," he replies, like always. They don't talk about death, not yet. They talk about life, memories, favorite dresses, best moments, 40 years of friendship distilled into one afternoon. But Givenchy knows. This is the beginning of the end. December 1992. Audrey is home in Switzerland, comfortable, surrounded by Robert, her sons Sean and Luca, close friends. But the cancer is spreading, fast. She starts making calls, saying goodbye, to directors she's worked with, co-stars she's loved, friends around the world. And she starts making lists. Things to take care of, people to thank, arrangements for after. On one list, in Audrey's handwriting, call Hubert about dress. She waits until December 20th, 5 days before Christmas. She doesn't want to ruin his holiday. But she also can't wait too long. Time is running out. She calls Givenchy's private line. He answers immediately. "Audrey, how are you feeling?" "I've been better. Listen, I need to ask you something. Anything. I want you to make me a dress." "Of course. What's the occasion?" Silence, then, "My funeral." The words hang in the air. Givenchy stops breathing. "Audrey, I'm going to die, Hubert, soon, within weeks. And I want to look beautiful one last time. Will you help me?" Givenchy sits down heavily. He's known this was coming, but hearing Audrey ask for her burial dress, it's devastating. "Yes," he whispers. "Of course. What do you want?" "Something simple, elegant, timeless, like the old days. Like when we first met and everything was possible." "What color?" "You choose. You've always known what colors make me look best." "Audrey, I don't know if I can." "You can. You have to. There's no one else I trust with this. You've dressed me for every important moment of my life. Please dress me for this one, too." After she hangs up, Givenchy sits in his office, staring at the phone, feeling like his world is ending. His assistant finds him an hour later, still sitting, not working, just existing. "Monsieur Givenchy, is everything all right?" "No," he says quietly. "Everything is not all right. Everything will never be all right again." But he gets up, goes to his sketchbook, starts drawing. If Audrey wants beautiful, he'll give her beautiful. If she wants timeless, he'll create timeless. If this is her final dress, it will be his masterpiece. He sketches for hours, dozens of designs, each one perfect, each one wrong, too fancy, too simple, too young, too old. Nothing captures what Audrey means, what she's been, what she deserves. Finally, at 2 a.m., he finds it. Simple, elegant, perfect. A white dress, long sleeves, high neck, floor length, classic Givenchy silhouette. Nothing trendy, nothing that will look dated in 50 years. Audrey, frozen in eternal elegance. He calls her the next morning. I have the design. Describe it. He does. Every detail, every line, every choice. When he finishes, Audrey is crying. It's perfect, she whispers. How do you always know exactly what I need? Because I know you. Better than anyone. Better than myself sometimes. How long will it take? 2 weeks, maybe 3. I hope I have 3 weeks. You will. You have to. I need you to see it. To approve it. I trust you completely. I always have. These forgotten stories deserve to be told. If you think so too, subscribe and like this video. Thank you for keeping these memories alive. January 1993, Paris. Givenchy's atelier, the most famous fashion house in the world, is creating its most important dress. But nobody knows. Givenchy tells his team it's for a private client. He works on it himself, cutting, sewing, finishing every detail personally. His assistants notice he's different, quieter, more focused, more emotional. He'll spend hours on a single seam, making sure it's perfect. Monsieur Givenchy, his head seamstress asks. Who is this dress for? Someone very special, he replies. Someone who deserves perfection. He works mostly alone, in the evenings, after his staff goes home. He doesn't want questions, doesn't want sympathetic looks, doesn't want to explain that he's making a burial dress for his best friend. The fabric is white silk, the finest in the world. From Italy, woven specifically for Givenchy. It costs more per yard than most people earn in a month. But money doesn't matter. This isn't about profit. This is about love, about honoring 40 years of friendship, about giving Audrey exactly what she asked for. The construction is flawless. Hand-sewn seams, French seams that will never pull or tear, details that will last for eternity. Because this dress needs to be perfect, forever. As he works, Givenchy remembers. Every dress he's made for Audrey, every fitting, every premiere, every moment they've shared. The wedding dress for Mel Ferrer. How nervous Audrey was, how beautiful she looked, how he knew the marriage wouldn't last, but hoped it would. The liberation dress after the divorce. How relieved she was, how young she looked, how proud he was that she'd found the courage to leave. The UNICEF dresses, how passionate she became, how the work gave her purpose, how beautiful she was when she was helping children. All leading to this, the final dress, the one she'll wear forever. On January 10th, 1993, the dress is finished. Givenchy looks at it hanging in his atelier. Simple, elegant, timeless, perfect. He calls Switzerland. It's ready? How does it look? Audrey asks. Her voice is weaker now, barely audible. Like you, beautiful, eternal, perfect. When will you bring it? Tomorrow. I'll fly to Geneva in the morning. Hubert, I need to tell you something. What? Thank you for everything. For 40 years of making me beautiful. For seeing me the way I wanted to be seen. For being the best friend a woman could have. Givenchy starts crying. Thank you for letting me dress you. For trusting me. For making my career. For being you. I love you, Hubert. I love you too, Audrey. January 11th, 1993. Givenchy flies to Geneva, drives to Audrey's home, brings the dress in a special garment bag. She's in bed, too weak to stand, but her eyes light up when she sees him. Can I see it? He removes the dress from the bag, holds it up. The white silk catches the winter light streaming through her bedroom windows. Audrey smiles, really smiles, for the first time in weeks. It's perfect, she whispers. It's exactly what I wanted. Are you happy with it? I'm happy with you. I'm happy we're friends. I'm happy you'll remember me. They spend 2 hours together, talking about the dress, about their friendship, about life, about death. When Givenchy leaves, he knows it's the last time he'll see Audrey alive. 9 days later, January 20th, 1993, Audrey Hepburn dies. At 2 a.m., peacefully, Robert Wolders holding her hand. January 25th, 1993. Tollechenas, Switzerland, St. Martin's Church, Audrey Hepburn's funeral. The church is small, private, only family and close friends. No photographers, no press, the way Audrey wanted it. Hubert de Givenchy sits in the front row, wearing black, crying, watching his best friend's coffin, knowing she's wearing the dress he made, knowing it's perfect, knowing it's forever. The service is beautiful, simple, elegant, like Audrey herself. Gregory Peck gives the eulogy. His voice breaks. He can barely speak. Everyone understands why. Sean Hepburn speaks about his mother's love. Luca speaks about her dedication to children. Robert Wolders speaks about her kindness. But no one speaks about her style, her fashion, her beauty, because that's not what defined her. Not really, except to Givenchy. To him, fashion was love. Making her beautiful was how he showed he cared. Dressing her was his gift to the world. After the service, people approached Givenchy, offering condolences. She was lucky to have you, they say. You made her so beautiful. But Givenchy knows the truth. I was lucky to have her. She made me beautiful. The burial is private, family only. Givenchy watches from a distance as they lower Audrey into the ground, wearing his dress, looking perfect, looking eternal. That night, alone in his hotel room, Givenchy writes in his journal, "Today I buried my muse, my friend, my inspiration, the woman who made me who I am. I will never design for anyone like Audrey again, because there will never be anyone like Audrey again. I made her final dress. It was perfect. She was perfect. And now she's gone." March 10th, 2018, 25 years after Audrey's death. Hubert de Givenchy dies, age 91, in his sleep, peacefully. At his memorial service, fashion luminaries speak about his genius, his innovation, his impact on style. But the most moving moment comes when they display photographs. Givenchy with his models, with celebrities, with fashion legends. And there, in every decade, in every important moment, Audrey Hepburn, young Audrey in Sabrina, mature Audrey in Charade, older Audrey at UNICEF galas. 40 years of friendship, captured in fabric and photos. Givenchy dressed many women, the fashion historian says, but he only loved one. Audrey Hepburn was his muse, his inspiration, his heart. The final photo shown, Givenchy's sketch of Audrey's burial dress. Simple lines, perfect proportions, eternal elegance. In the corner, in his handwriting, "Pour Audrey, avec tout mon amour." For Audrey, with all my love. Some partnerships are professional, some are creative, some are magical. The partnership between Audrey Hepburn and Hubert de Givenchy was all three. For 40 years, until death, and beyond. She made him famous, he made her beautiful. Together, they made fashion history. Her final dress was his final gift. White silk, perfect construction, eternal elegance. Audrey Hepburn, dressed by Givenchy, forever.
If you want to uncover the dark truth behind Hollywood's golden age, the abuse they covered up, the toxic relationships they enabled for profit, then subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell.